We're live. It says we're live.
It said we're live. Yeah, it said we're live now. All right.
So Nova.
Yeah.
You know, this might be one of them episodes where I don't do so much talking. I do more listening.
You got to talk. You know what? We had a bunch of people waiting to watch, like who left probably, but it's all right.
Right.
But yeah, I'm glad you announced today. I know we did say it was going to be 10 and we'll stop, but we didn't kind of do the episodes I wanted to do. But I think you're right. We wrap this now for a little bit at least. We'll bring it back if need be, but we will bring it back at some point. But like, you know, the last one was sober. We're talking about sober and that. We're just talking about, like, it's gone back to talking about Nova's beefs and all of that. Like, when, like I said, I was like, yo, I came away from that whole conference today. I was talking on the phone. I was telling him how me and you argue on the phone like we do here, but actually more like we actually really argue when we're talking on the phone. But it's blessed. Like,
yeah. you gotta have thick skin. Get me in this
like
game.
Some people are just not about it. Like, they're just fucking like, they like using that snowflake word. Some of them, and they're the real snowflakes, isn't it? Some people are just snowflakes, and they send for you. Like, I'm not on the internet sending for people like right now too tough. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to be. I'm too busy. Like, I'm too busy to be doing that shit. So like this whole Amy True thing today, she started sending for me on the internet like on a mad one, and I still don't even really know why. Like,
yeah, but do you think do you not see a connection between, right? That's one person, but you've had multiple.
Oh, you're saying so I must be the problem, innit?
Do you not? No, but I'm just saying, innit? I don't know the ins and outs of each fallout. But I'm saying
there's a connection in that all of them come down to not being able to communicate with someone who thinks different to you, and also, you know, someone who stands up to right-wing narratives. Like, that's what it seems. And I don't want to put that on Amy, like, because I don't think she's really like a right-wing narrative person. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's like sometimes people are doing that unknowingly. They're like repeating, oh, look, have you heard this? And they're like whether it's like but talking on a conspiracy theory or just a theory.
Yeah, but it's almost. But the thing is, I don't know what. See what it is with me. I don't know. I didn't see the debate, whatever exchange you lot had yet, to see and say this is from a right-wing source, because as far as I know, from my views are quite similar. I'm not saying I don't know all her views, but definitely in regarding the lockdown and I imagine it'd be quite similar to Amy, because they made that the People's Army made that track, No New Normal track.
Yeah.
And that was one of the tracks that I thought of all the releases that have come out this year, as far as being relevant to what's going on, and someone actually. And
you know, Big Ben's in the video with the social justice warrior T-shirt on. So yeah. But
that's I can't really.
It's a big thing. Like,
I got to look at when it's you saying it. I got to look into it because I don't know.
Terra, like, I say this to you, innit? I tell you all the time.
Yeah, exactly. You do say it to me.
And you laugh about it.
You say it. No, it's true. You say it to me, yeah, and I might be like, "What the fuck's he talking about?" But the thing with me, I will go and do my research, and it's like, all right, fair enough, yeah. There was a few sites that I was looking on. That was, you know, we went through this already. You know what I mean?
With her, yeah. Bro, with her, it wasn't like I didn't even have a debate with her. She made a post about like against Meghan, the Meghan interview, saying the one thing that is dodgy, like, was they're using race to trigger us. Like, that's the kind of shit David Icke says and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of shit a lot of racist white people say, who want to not stop talking about racism. Because whatever you want to say.
But it's true, but I can kind of see where it's coming from as well. See, with the Meghan Markle thing, I haven't, and you know me, I haven't even really touched on it. I haven't even spoken about it. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, Oprah is a fucking billionaire. Meghan Markle's a fucking billionaire.
100%.
Yeah? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're the same race. Yeah, they do not share the same kind of reality as me.
No, of course. But there are people, yeah, who don't share the same financial reality as them. There's black people, mixed race people, like who are talking about this current thing because they relate to it in their normal life as well.
If you're a black or mixed race person, and he wants to marry into the royal family, you ain't that pro-black anyway.
That's another.
So don't worry about the odd racial comment. Don't worry about it because you ain't. You see what I'm saying? You've gone to the royal family to complain about racism.
That's a fair point.
You know, the royal family is propped up on racism. Yeah. And you want to, and you don't. So this is the thing. This is the hypocritical thing.
Yeah.
You don't mind taking some of that slave money. Yeah. You don't mind taking that money that was built of slavery and colonization. Yeah. To go traveling around the world and living nice and eating fucking quail and pheasant or whatever they eat. Yeah. But when it actually turns around on you and they start commenting on your baby, it's like that's the reality. But it's like, anyway, what were you doing there, innit?
That's victim blaming still, though, Tara. I feel you. You got a good point. You got a good point.
I don't business with me. I don't really business too tough about Meghan Markle. I don't have a problem with her. Obviously, I'm not one of the people that's going mad angry about her. But I don't really, at the end of the day, Meghan Markle's rich, man. At the end of the day, anyone would take a racial slur for that kind of money. You know what I mean? So I can't really feel that pain.
But she didn't know, innit? And that's her right as well. She didn't take...
well, it is. Do you know it is? And I hear that, but someone's opinion doesn't necessarily reflect that they are right-wing. You understand? Because
I ain't finished anyway. That wasn't even the key point. That was one point on her thing, but that was like, okay, now you're saying something that's, siding with... It's a similar narrative to certain people. And then it said, and Oprah was on Epstein Island, yeah? Which is
what I've heard. I've heard that as well.
Yeah, no, of course, I've read it too, but that comes from the Donald Trump QAnon conspiracy list.
All right then. Okay, but then also, you see Oprah, you see that guy, John of God, yeah? You know John of God?
No, I don't.
You heard of him? See, check him out. Yeah, I don't know too much about this, but John of God is someone that is linked with Oprah. So I want to know how much of that is a conspiracy theory.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. What I'm saying is, I know that
some of these people might have a point going over. You understand? So he might be a point somewhere in there. I'm not. Don't get me wrong, yeah. I get what you're saying as well.
Cool. Oprah's a billionaire, like you said. I don't trust billionaires in general. So cool. There's might be about Oprah to discuss here, but the one I've seen loads of things said about Oprah, and anytime I've looked into them, I never really saw, I couldn't really see it backed up. But I'm not taking away from it. You know what I'm saying, and all I'm saying is her specific thing she said about Oprah, I can source directly to right-wing sources and directly to Donald Trump. I can do that 100%. Yeah, so I'm just like, cool. And also she said something about Obama. There's a negative thing about Obama, and I'm like, cool. There's loads of negative things.
What was it about Obama then? But this is the thing. What was it?
It was just like, they're using this like they used Obama, like kind of like, which might be a fair point to say, having a black president just to kind of appease people or whatever. But it was always like, I just look at it like there's always a negative about Obama and all of these Donald Trump siding fucking narratives as well. But that wasn't the key thing. Was the Oprah one, because I thought, that's directly Donald Trump speaks talk here now. Yeah, she might not know that. I don't know.
You got to think. I've heard a lot of criticism of Oprah from black people.
Yeah, but I mean, loads. But I'm saying
I don't mean black people. I don't mean black
island list. The Epstein Island list was a QAnon conspiracy to help.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the criticism I've heard of Oprah throughout the years.
I'm saying what I'm addressing, because I can acknowledge all of that about Oprah or other conversations. But the thing, what I'm saying is, she may post something that is directly from a Donald Trump underhanded election campaign spread on the internet that defends Donald Trump, removes Donald Trump's name from the Epstein list, and adds up people like Oprah and Tom Hanks. Like, the real list doesn't have these names on it and does have Donald Trump's name on it, and we can all go. We can look that up. I'm just telling you, we can look that up. And I'm not saying that she wasn't there, but she's not on the list. The real one you can go and look up and find. Donald Trump and his son and like a number of his family members are. So it's like, my thing was, I commented something about like, we should be careful following these kind of lists, looking at a list that removes all of the people from one side of politics and one political party and agenda and only attacks the other. Because then we have to start looking at there's an agenda here. Do you know what I'm saying? Which I can't see that not being a fair point. Like if we, especially in this UK hip hop world of like, or even this conspiracy kind of world or information, alternative information, like we usually kind of trying to see what the government's up to. Like we're trying to find a position in the world where we don't have to put up with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we're usually saying all of those people, all of those political parties are corrupt. This is why they're corrupt and talking about it. But suddenly we want to start sharing something that literally is designed to help one political party. And it happens to be the Republican Party in America, the most right-wing
but then you got
party of them all.
But then this is exactly what was going on in the UK hip hop scene for years in terms of left-wing politics. You understand? So in terms of left-wing politics,
like what?
It was
like what?
It totally was. It was. I remember.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by left-wing politics?
I mean, like vote Labour. I mean, I was in Southeast London.
Yeah.
And I was seeing a Rasta man with his vote Labour. And I was like, what's all that about? He's like, we must vote. And I was just at that point.
Yeah, but do you know,
they've got him. They've got us. You know what I mean? At that point, I realised all it is it's the same. It's the same thing just happening from the opposite.
But she's not up here. She's not up here saying vote Donald Trump, is she? Like, so it's not quite the same thing. But I'm just saying, like, you're standing. Like, we wasn't really about that. I know Amy True's not about vote Labour. I know that. You know what I'm saying? She's not on that.
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I don't know, innit? I know that a lot of UK hip hop artists were Corbynites.
Well, yeah, during the Corbyn thing, I thought the Corbyn thing's a bit different. But anytime other than the Corbyn thing, anytime people were saying vote Labour, it's more of a anti-Tory thing than it's a pro-Labour thing. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's a pro-government thing. I was saying, though, what it is, these people, they'll say, what it is, these people will vote whoever they think is going to affect change.
Yeah.
That's what is the driving.
I don't never think none of them can affect change apart from Corbyn. He was the only person I thought was.
Maybe he would have, but he didn't get through. So
he wanted to affect change. And
this is what they can say about. This is what they can say about every politician that never got through.
But I was saying
the worst thing. And you know, the worst thing is they're saying about Trump now. They're like, "Oh, Trump! If only Trump won the election." So
yeah, I don't know.
That's why people are getting mixed up in both sides. Like, I know a lot of people who voted for the Labour Party, and like you said, a couple months down the line, have been swayed by the QAnon Donald Trump sort of thing. But this,
let me just get back to the thing just briefly, because I just want to say that, like, Amy already come at me on the next post a while ago about Corbyn. She was anti-Corbyn too. She was like, yeah, he's just one of them two. They're all the same kind of thing, yeah?
That's true.
So that's not true. So, but I'll dispute that with you.
It is.
It's not true. You know it's not true.
Nice guy. Look, Corbyn's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. He's a nice guy.
If he's a nice guy, because they're not nice guys, isn't it? So they're not the same then, isn't it? They're not nice guys, bro.
No, he's not the same, but it's like, all right, it's like this, yeah?
Oh, there we go.
It's like a movie. It's like a movie, isn't it? So say there's a movie. There's the bad guy, the good guy, the fucking innocent bystander, all the actors.
Yeah, the bad guy and the good guy are not the same.
They're all getting paid by the same studio. So that's what I mean. They're all the same, and they're all part of the same thing. It's like EastEnders, you know what I mean? You might like this character, you don't like this character, but it don't matter. They just play their role, because they're all getting paid at the end of the day. And then when they've had enough of him, they'll kill him off, and then they'll bring in Danny Dyer.
But Corbyn's not just playing a role, though. That's what I'm saying. That's where it's different. But my point is, anyway, yeah, is that was her stance. So cool, she can have that stance, you can have that stance, that's fine. But now, you got a stance where you're even against Corbyn, who's for the people. So you're against anyone in politics, which I'm not against someone having that stance when you're just, you know what, this whole system's not for me. Calm, yeah? But now, that is still, like, you're talking about people who were for Corbyn who jumped to Trump. like she's not for any of them, but she still ended up sharing this stuff that Trump's pushing. And you know why?
Because that just shared the name.
Because Trump, yeah, was very clever, and QAnon, whether it's Trump, QAnon, whatever, very clever in targeting that group of people who don't want to follow the system, who don't want to, and tricking them into following and sharing what they want them to follow and share. So you're ending up sharing this thing. So at the end of the day, that's all I tried to comment on her thing. And I mentioned Donald Trump and I mentioned QAnon, and she deleted it. So now it's like censorship. Do you know what I'm saying? Like let me not. And I was like, yo, deleting my comments here. So I commented again, and then she was like, yeah, because you're poking. And I was like, no, I'm not poking. And I explained what I just explained again. And then it wasn't her that I had a debate with. It was someone else. So I don't even want to say his name and hurt him up because he's my people. But someone of my people who was involved in the Corbyn movement with me greatly, he has told me recently he's 100% a QAnon supporter. And
well, yeah, but then this is back to what Amy said though. She mentioned he has mental problems, yeah, and we have to look at it in the same way. So that's the thing. You got to remember, yeah.
What about mental problems?
I don't know. I saw something about mental problems on the post.
She was hurting me up for saying that he has mental problems because
he doesn't have mental problems.
What?
He doesn't have mental problems.
No,
well, maybe my reading's a bit bad. What I took from it was that you was
I shouldn't really say that.
Getting on someone who had mental problems.
No, I'm saying I can't understand. Going from Corbyn to support and like communicating with the black community and being for the black community to suddenly you're with Trump and like I can't see anything but in my head I'm like this person's going through a breakdown or something.
Okay, all right. So you identified the breakdown. The breakdown.
But I'm so Amy True was pulling me up for saying that, and someone else pulled me up because someone else said to me they always love that white people love to call the mental health card when white people are being racist, and that's a good point. She was like, he's just being a racist. You don't have to say he's being mentally ill.
So that's what it was. So that's it.
Like, okay, maybe.
Yeah. So you was almost giving him a justifiable way out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of it like that, but yes.
But she's come in and she's said, nah, this ain't the reason. This is the reason why he's a racist, and I can agree with that because I've always thought that about a lot of these Labour.
No, she wasn't saying. No, that's not what Amy said. But Amy was.
Sorry, I thought that's what she said.
Amy was just cussing me, going, "Oh, you want to say it's mental health? You're gaslighting and you're a fool." And she's called me all kind of names. Like it's got worse every time. Last thing she said to me was, "You're a pussy," and now she's written cunt on her wall. Someone screenshotted and sent to me. Like I've just tried to be blessed with her and tell her, "Nah."
Yeah.
But she was hyped. She was like, she wanted me to go on her live. You know, I was going to go on her live at 6 o'clock, and she asked me to do it. I said, yeah, but I'm not coming on your live for a hype. Yeah. So the way you're talking to me, like, don't talk to me like that. Don't tell me how to talk. And I said, well, I can tell you what I accept with people speaking to me. I'm not going to sit and put up with your abuse.
So Nova. So this, you know, it is this situation. Yeah. We have to ask, how did we even get it? Like,
so that's what I'm saying. All that happened, I had an argument with someone on her wall about being.
How was it turned into this?
And I tell you, about being a QAnon and Trump supporter, which they've openly told me they are. Yeah,
but maybe they took the.
She saw that thread. Yeah, that person blocked me, and that's a person I know very well in the real world, in real life. They blocked me because they couldn't take what I was calling out about QAnon, and she blocked me, or said she blocked me, but she just unfriended me, and then wrote a whole post calling me a fool, really disrespectful post about me because of it. Yeah, because of that thread I was having about QAnon and Donald Trump. So I don't know where she stands on it. She hasn't told me, but you have come aggressive at me, started calling me names on the internet. It's the only reason I'm talking on this, Terror, because I actually got no problem with any of this. I actually think Amy's cool. You know what I'm saying? I've always got on with her. I think she's incredibly talented. You know, I find some of the things she talks about are interesting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like I'm not against her in any kind of shape or form. So she has got in herself to write some long offensive fucking post about me and then remove me and WhatsApp the message to me, the screenshot, like, here, I've wrote this about you, and then blocked me on WhatsApp. So she's like, come at me. I haven't even had the fucking thing with her. I don't even, like, she's come at me. So all my thing I wrote today was in response to that, only because, yeah, and I'm learning like to just block people and step away, like I have with Uno, like I have with Simon, yeah. But she's a person who bare of our people know. She's in our world, she's in the scene. So she's gonna write some long thing about me like that. I felt like I needed to say something and say my piece back. Yeah. Otherwise I wouldn't even be saying it. And like after this, I'm not gonna speak about it again. Bless, like it's all love to her, you know what I'm saying? It's long.
Boy, well, yeah, well, it would have been good if you could have had some kind of dialogue with her, and because at the same time, I've get angry on the internet as well. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. Even a few, when was it, like 2 days ago, I ended up blocking one of my friends, who actually someone who is meant to be working with me on my brand, and because like I had put up a status, and then there was a response, and then she made a response, yeah. So, but at the same time, I'm not always on Facebook arguing, you know. So, you know what I mean? I've got, you know what I mean? I might have the baby, I might be doing stuff, I might be cooking, cleaning, whatever, yeah. So obviously, I'm responding, but I'm responding quickly, and then
you went a bit robot over here, bro.
Like, sorry.
You went a bit robot on my store. Can you hear me?
Yeah. I said, okay, so yeah. So they've got onto me about, you know, giving vague answers or something. I've had to block them. You understand? And then they've emailed me, and I had to say to them, you know what it is? I can get where you're coming from. You perceive me to be doing this or that to you, but right now, my involvement with you is because of my brand, yeah? Now, I don't want to bring that energy into my brand. You understand? So just because I don't want to bring that energy into the brand, I have to lock you off. I have to. That's just me.
You relate to her because you just block people who don't agree with you and stuff like that.
No. Well, it's not even that. Do you know what it is? This is the truth of the matter. Yeah. I used to have a lot of people just like watching me on my Facebook, not interacting, not you know, and in event, you know, every now and then there would be a few you know, hateful comments and stuff like that. Sometimes I would go back and forward with these people. I'd always end up sticking it on, making a fool of these people, public humiliation of these people, to be quite honest. But then after a while, I thought, you know what am I doing? I'm performing to the wrong audience. Yeah, I'm not. I need to be focusing on my supporters. I need to be focusing on the people that listen to my music, buy my albums. You understand? I'm spending energy trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do by engage, like, do you know what I mean? So what I'd say, I would have some engagements with people online, but these engagements are educational. So if anyone's looking, yeah, you can look at these people, and you can look at them when they want to go and take their vaccines, and when they argue me about their vaccines, and you can look at them, and then we can, you know, we can observe these people over a certain amount of time, and you can see what the damage that is done to them, and you can understand that these people are idiots. And you know what I mean? So I only use people as examples just to show that this person is an idiot. Don't follow this, like, the very serious.
Yeah, that's all you lot care about. That's all you
no, for serious. No, listen. Once the lesson's done, I delete the person and block them. Once I've finished using that person, because you know what it is, Moses. Because you know what it is. No, because you know what it is.
Yourself, your ego.
You know what it is. You know what it is. These people, and this is why I don't know the full scale of this argument you've had with Amy, but I'm sure in this debate, I'm sure Amy has some very good points on this as well.
She hasn't made any. I don't know what they are. She wanted to make it.
I'm not saying she has, but I'm just saying if you sit down and go deep into it, like, you know, so what I'm saying, it's the people that have gone and got themselves, there's people that have gone and got themselves vaccinated and fucked themselves up. If I can avoid that happening to people, that's it.
But you don't want to avoid it.
Well, if people go and do it, Nova, if you go and do it, then cool. We'll use you as an example. You understand? For those who are in the middle of the road, we'll use you as an example. Say, look, this is why you shouldn't do it. And so far, a lot of people that have been fighting and flying the flag for this whole World Health Organization. They've ended up in a good situation. So right now,
let me ask you this:
you can't go on.
If I go and do it, yeah, or let's say someone else we know goes and I know a couple of people that are doing it for certain reasons or whatever, yeah, and they're completely fine and their life goes on to be great. Are we going to use that as an example, or are you going to just pretend it didn't happen?
No, because you know what it is. I don't. You know what it is. You know what I say about the vaccine? I say dying is the least of your worries, and I'll leave it at that. I won't even go into it any deeper than that. But just remember that, like, dying is the least of your worries. Yeah. So the best, probably the best case scenario would be you dying. Yeah.
We've got
to be continued.
Jess said, "Won't Amy come on now?" And I did tell her. I told her I invited her, but she asked me to come on her live. Yeah.
Let me. Can I say something to you lot as well?
Yeah.
See what it is. Some of these situations are trivial. You know what I mean? They can be heated, but they're trivial. But you know what it is. See all that living in London all that time, a whole year on lockdown. Yeah. If I had been in London this whole lockdown, I'd be a very different person. I guarantee you. I guarantee you'd be getting phone calls.
I said earlier, everyone's going through it, but again, it's like as if it's addressing mental health.
And not only that, yeah, I'll be getting wound up here. Yeah. And then when you get into these little arguments with people online, you can actually just go down the road and meet them. It's not, you know what I mean? Like right now, when I've argued with people online, they're like, oh yeah, I know by the time I see that person, everything's gonna calm down because I'm like 200 and 300 miles away. And you know what I mean? And so it's like, I can kind of get it. I see it with all my people in London. I see them getting more and more worked up and frustrated. And do you see what I'm saying? But that's something that everyone has to look. You know what it is? That's an inner thing. That's not even an environmental thing. That's something that you have to deal with it. Like even me, I had to deal with it towards the beginning of the lockdown.
I'm saying that's why I'm meditating.
You know what, Nova? I was on smoke. Yeah, when I was at the beginning of lockdown, I was on smoke, right? I was like, all right, then cool. I remember being out in Camden, being like, guys, what we saying? And I just saw that the energy, I felt the energy just wasn't really saying much. So I was like, okay, you know what, guys, it's safe, yeah? Don't chat to me. That was it. I was like, see you later, guys. I knew that was literally the last time I was going to see these people, yeah? Gone. And then after, when I was sort of shit people were writing online, I was getting wound up. Like it was getting to the point where I wanted to just fight everybody. You understand? That was my thing. It was like, I don't believe so-and-so is real. Someone's like, how could you say that? I'm like, in the inbox, let's meet up right now. That's how I was carrying on. But eventually, I realized that I was actually just fighting myself. Do you know what I mean? I was just fighting myself. All these people were so dumb. All these sheep were so dumb. They were having the time of their life, being fucking under house arrest. And I'm there ducking and diving, looking out for helicopters. And
I think that's what she's doing. I think that's what she's doing, if I'm being honest. And that's what I'm saying. So she wanted, just to address the comment and why she like, if she hadn't blocked me on everything now, I would send her the link right now and see if she changed her mind. Like, come, I'm saying, talk to me, because she wanted me to do a live with her today. She was like 6 p.m, but she was really like pushy about it, telling me what to do. And I was just like, firstly, I was just like, look, you don't have to speak to me in a disrespectful way. Like, I haven't done you nothing. So let me say what I'm saying though. Like, I didn't have to, like, you don't have to speak to me like that, yeah? And she just carried on. And I'm like, her words got worse. She's going pussy and all of this, like, you're a pussy, and that's the last thing she said to me. But like, I said to her, if you're gonna speak to me with disrespect, I'm not coming on your live for that, yeah? I will come on your live and speak to you if, like, we're gonna speak normal and speak about whatever the issue is, but tell me what it is, because I don't know what we're even discussing, because I don't even know, like. And she was like, all right, cool, 6 o'clock. And then I said, nah, I was cool. If you're gonna carry on with the disrespect, we can do it on my live. Because you know, like, if I go live on Insta, then I have the video there on my page after. If she goes live on Insta and adds me, then she has the video there, yeah? And if she's just talking to me hype, like, I'm not going on your live for you to set up something where you're gonna just try and disrespect me in some mad way, and then you've got control of the video and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, look, if we're speaking from a place of respect, I'll come on your live. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't just want to, if you want to come at me on a different energy, and you can't tell me we're going to speak with respect, then I'll go live and add you. Or you can come on the show with Terra later. Yeah, and she was not on any of them terms. It was like, nah, I'm doing it this way or no other way. And then it was like, come to my yard, come meet me. And she's talking all of that crud as well, like what you're saying.
On smoke, though. This is what you have to understand. What you have to understand about these rappers, yeah. Amy is on smoke, and every single one of these, any male rapper that I've had any kinds of issues with, Amy is on smoke more than them. That's what I will say.
You reckon, yeah? I know that. I know. I'll be honest with you.
I'll put money on it. I'll put money on it. I guarantee you.
I'll tell you why. That's because of how soft they are. You know what I'm saying? But I goes, if you want to talk to me, yeah. I said to her, if you want to talk to me, you got my number. Call me. I said, actually, I'll book you at the People's Army studio. That's not far from me. Yeah. And that's the last thing. At the end, she was like, where are we meeting? Live. She kept pushing. She was like, live. Or at my house or the studio. And I said, well, I just told you that I've told her I'm by the studio, so I'll meet you. And I said to her, but just know, I'm like, for me to give you my time to actually like come leave my house, yeah, leave my business and what I'm doing day to day and come and meet you. Yeah. I didn't say all of that, but that's where position I'm coming from. I said, for me to give you my time, that's from a position of respect. So don't be on a hype. You know what I'm saying? Like if I come to meet you, don't be hyping with me. You know what I'm saying? And she just that was the point. She was like, "Oh, you're a pussy," and blocked me or whatever. She couldn't take that I'm actually coming from a place of respect. She wanted smoke, and I don't know why, because I haven't actually done her nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? So blessed to her. I'm not going to talk about her no more, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like big her up. But then we had another comment, Ashley Young, saying we're missing. This is from way back, but missing so many connections. Same with the Boris Biden connection. I'm not sure what that's the same as.
Yeah. That's a definite. There's a definite connection there.
But there's also a Boris Trump connection.
Yeah, there is. But the Trump. But remember, Farage got the bringing. When it comes down to British politicians, Farage was really the get me. Farage and Trump. You know what I mean? Who knows what they got up.
True. Yeah. Someone said this to me before. Like it's true that Boris. I mean, that Biden is more politically in line with the Conservatives and Boris here than he is with the Labour Party. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they're more, because their thing is so right wing that their left party, if they want to call it that, of course it's not a left party, but their left party is more in line with our right party. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, this is what, like, you know, like it's funny that this whole thing led to all this, because I put up a similar post to what you put up about the people that was following Labour and then following the QAnon. Yeah. And I just put it down to like, it's just down to your faith in politics, isn't it? And some people are anti-politics. It doesn't mean that I can't see some good things within the socialist manifesto or whatever, or it doesn't mean I can't see the bad things within, you understand? But ultimately, I reject all of it. And I think a lot of people, the problem is once you're made susceptible to it, like once it becomes like you know, once it gets in your, because with me, I realized I was never raised in a house where politics was ever spoken about. Like politics was never spoken about as a solution to anything. So it's never really been, whether it affects me or not, it's never really been my concern. And I've never really had any kind of faith in it. I've never looked at it as something that works for people like me. You understand? So I think there might be people that it benefits and it affects, but with people like me, I've not seen it. You understand? I've not seen it have much effect.
Well, I grew in a house where we vote Corbyn because that's what he was, my local MP.
Of course. And so it's almost like a religion. It's almost like religious indoctrination.
And that's from childhood. That's not from when everyone else heard of Corbyn. This is when I was a little youth. But don't get it twisted. We grew up disheartened with politics too, with all sides of it, and specifically with the Labour Party. But we fought with Corbyn. You know what I'm saying? Even back then. Ashley Young followed it up that she was saying it was comparison to when she said Boris Biden, she was talking about when we mentioned the Trump-Corbyn connection, but there is no Trump-Corbyn connection. It's like we say, it's two people looking for something.
No, but what she means is like the same way that a lot of people voted Boris when everyone thought they were going to vote thought they were going to get Corbyn. Is the same way they voted in Biden when everyone thought they were going to get in Trump. Because really and truly, a lot of people did believe that Trump was going to win the election. People put money on it.
I thought he was going to win. I definitely thought he was going to win. I was shocked. I was shocked.
But at the same time, apparently it ain't over.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Ask Amy, she might know. I don't know, but that's the Q. That's what the QAnon say, isn't it? But it's over, bruv. It's over.
Well, but that's whether Amy follows QAnon is a matter of debates.
I don't think I doubt she does. I'm saying I doubt she does, but I don't know. Like, she got very angry about me speaking bad about it, so I don't know. But I doubt she does. And I think I probably agree with loads more of what she'll say. A lot of this thing.
But Nova. So you don't see it. So basically, you don't. So everyone you have a fallout with, you put the fallout down to them. Is that what you're saying? Because me, I have fallouts with people. Yeah, and it ain't all. Sometimes it's down to them, but it's not always. A lot. To be honest, a lot of my problems are down to me, innit? Well, that's what I'm saying.
My problem is that I interact, I challenge, and I speak about stuff and people can't It's the thing that's down to them is that they can't handle it, because I can handle it. I can handle someone saying I've got a different opinion and I can talk about it, and I will not be a snowflake and have not be able to speak to you about it anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Otherwise, how the fuck are me and you still friends after this?
How come you ended up with blocking Uno?
But look how long it took me to block Uno. Look at Uno. Look how long it took me, bruv. And I'm learning at the moment. I'm a very, very busy person. Yeah, I'm running a number of businesses. I'm doing stuff that I don't have time for the social media so much anymore. Like, it's the weekend. I've actually, for the first time in a long time, got to a point where I have my weekends off and I work through the week. Even doing this show is like, it's like something in my weekend now that I'm going to enjoy having a bit of time off of it now, because I'm just going to really have my weekends off. But I don't have time for all of that madness. And I do give people the time though. So I've given Uno the time for a long, long time. And he wrote some really wild fucking things that we all know about now. Or we don't, 'cause I haven't really put it out there too much, but he wrote some really disturbing stuff where I thought, I cannot be even entertaining this person's energy.
Can you even repeat what you said?
Well, it started off with, it was just like rape apologist stuff, which is something I always challenge people on in general, but it was to the fucking highest fucking, he said something about, I remember I'd already left the group, this got reported back to me and stuff, but he said something.
But you did tell him to suck his mum.
Yeah, I did. I said that at the end before I blocked him, yeah. But yeah, I stand by it, suck your mum, yeah. But that's misogynistic as well. That's true. I get pulled up for that one, because that's just something.
Oh my god! But for me, it's mad, because it's like, I don't know, man. Maybe I've been out in the wilderness too long. But it's like, yo, man just told you to suck the mum, and it's like, yeah, fair enough. It's a minor, but then.
It's not a minor, I guess.
How is it? But then, it's just mad. I just look at the whole thing.
I won't apologize to him for that. I've said that to people before now when they've really offended me, and I've apologized to them.
Yeah. Man, say suck your mum with no apology. This is what I'm saying.
I've said that to you, and I'm wrong for that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I've done that before. There's people in the music thing happen with, and I stand by that. I was wrong still. Do you know what I'm saying? Like. And that's me rising to this shit. Like, fuck that, I can't rise to this thing like that. That's why this time, like, with this situation today, I haven't once said no names and all that. I said silly. I said they've made a silly post, and someone pulled me up saying, boy, silly sounds a bit confrontational. I was like, I could have said worse, but I said, you know what, you're right, because I'm trying to spread love. Really, I'm reacting to something that's not from love, and I am getting caught up, and I need to not get.
Because what it is in me, I kind of. I think everything should be learned from you. I kind of use the situation to show people that even amongst the Corbynites, even amongst these different ranks and different groups, it's still like civil war within these groups. You know what I mean? It's still, you know what I mean? People still ain't they're still not living in harmony. You know what I mean? And it's not to say I am, but I'm just saying that this is what I'm saying. Like this, I don't know. Maybe someone can learn from it.
Harmony with themselves, and this is why I said it's not a mental health thing. I'm not like saying people are suffering mental health, but people are going through it at the moment. So they like we're all struggling, isn't it, with this lockdown?
Well, you can't. The thing is, you can't put it on people either. You can't blame anybody.
No, but I'll tell you what, people when you see people projecting, like the last thing that was one thing that was said to me today, yeah, like at the end. Because after the whole thing was a block on Insta, then they came back to Facebook and messaged me again there. It's like, fucking hell, man, you're going to message on every platform. And it said, I don't like you. That was one of the things they said. And I've had people say that to me a few times, and I think, that's
why do you think you're not liked?
No, but let me say this. Yeah, let me say this. To say to someone, I don't like you, it's quite loaded. Like, to me, I don't dislike people. In order to in order for me to not like someone, I'd have to really feel some kind of way about them. Like I got love for everyone. So to dislike somebody, and like even people that don't agree with me, I just think I don't agree with how you are. It doesn't mean I don't like you as a person. So for me to say I don't like you means the person don't like themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like projection. You don't like yourself. You're struggling with that. And you want to tell someone you don't like them, you want to call someone names, you want to put them down.
But you got to think. It's like this. So I have the same as well. It's like people see me posting all day. Yeah, they see my name come up all the time. And for some people, they see me every day and they don't say nothing. Then one day, they just fucking come and be like, "You fucking cunt, you motherfucker, fuck you." Yeah, and then not only that, because these people have been like following me for like 8 years. These people have like followed me through my life to some, you know what I mean? And so then it's like, you fucking cunt, you did this then, and then you did that then, and then you had this many children then, and it's like, fuck. So you got people, sometimes it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, innit? Sometimes, like, you know, a lot of people didn't say nothing to me, they just didn't unfriendly on Facebook. You know what I mean? Some of the ones who know me in person, but there's some people that don't know me, and they'll just lose it and start fucking where. You know what I mean? Then it's like, okay, I'm gonna smash you.
Like, I'm saying it's people who are going through their own shit, and don't get twisted. Like when I go off on people certain times, because I'm in a mad place. When I was in my lowest places, I used to beef people online way more. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that is also to do with me coping with whatever I'm going through, and me projecting whatever I'm going through. Like everybody does it. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting to a space where I'm not trying to do that. So it's mad that I've like.
So how did you manage to provoke someone then, if that was the case?
Well, that's what I'm saying. So maybe my point when you got to go back to saying, "Oh, is it you?" Yeah, I comment on people's things and like say, "Yeah, but what about this?" And they're taking it as me poking. So maybe I have to take that on board that that's how they feel and not poke them. But I didn't. Because
I've done the same thing with people. Someone said that to me, and they've made a comment, and in their head they're just been like, "Oh, you know, just like whatever." But because I've been talking about something very seriously, I've took it as like disrespectful punk, and I've gone in on the person. Understand? Even like I said, even towards the beginning of this COVID thing, someone was like, I said, if you've fallen for this hoax, you're an idiot. Yeah. Someone come in and was like, how could you say that? Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll fight you now. And the thing is, the reason why I was so like, I'll fight you now is because the same way I'm sure today, I'm as sure as I was then as I am today. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make. It's when you're so sure, it's like, you know what, if there's only so much I can convey over Facebook, you might have to meet me in person because I need to fucking show you how fucking serious, you know what I mean? It's like that scene in They Live where you have to bruck the guy up, bruck him up and put the glasses on him. It's almost like that. It's like, trust me, I can prove it. If I can't prove it with words, I might have to prove it with something else.
It won't prove it, Terra. It won't prove it. It won't prove it. Justin said I always beef people when it's that time of the month. I have to stay off socials. Well, fair enough, man. Fair enough. But
that's the thing. I don't get, you know what it is? Let's go to the comment, because that was a big part of the scandal of the week. So this thread that Uno. Yeah. And to be honest, you know, I've had to withdraw my offers of management because you know, until we get this situation under back, because I still don't know what's going on. I don't know how it started, but I think what was weird is that in this time, like literally, the conversation started days before this. Obviously, this murder of this woman by the police officer happened, and now more of this sort of stuff is coming out. Understand? More of this. Oh well, like a lot of men are saying, oh well, men are more likely to get murdered. But it's like, yeah, but men are murdering each other, so that's their business. Yeah, women are not going around murdering other women on the streets. Yeah, that's the bottom line. But I've kind of thought that Uno's argument was a little bit in that sort of vein of, you know, definitely victim blaming. I didn't see all of what he wrote. What I did see was quite shocking.
I usually just talk to Uno about politics, about Tories and Labour and all of that, but I hadn't had a conversation about this kind of stuff. So
I'll keep it 100 though. I'll keep it 100. What Uno put was shocking. It was right. However, I've spoke to Uno about gang violence live on here, and Uno was saying it's the kids' faults and the parents' fault.
Yeah, he always blamed.
I've heard Uno say these aren't children. I've heard Uno say these aren't children in these estates, in these poor estates. They're monsters. Yeah. And also heard him say that in Africa, those parents would sell their bad children into slavery. So already, that's just to give people the kind of understanding of how far out Uno's thinking goes.
Justin not necessarily set me up in the ring with Uno. Justin said, "Has anyone agreed to fight yet? Set me up."
Uno ain't getting in no ring with no one. But you see what it is.
The worst thing that I was pulling him up on a different part. He said, but then someone reminded me the other thing he said, where he kind of compared rape to burglary and people leaving their door open if their house got burgled. That was the comparison he made. And to be honest, and people wanted to beat him up for that. And to be honest, if he was like a person near me, like who I can actually see him, like, I would have that kind of energy for that kind of comment. So I understand.
I
didn't see everything Uno said. The small amount I did was triggering enough to make me want to stop. That's how bad it was. And I didn't post the screenshots. I didn't post the screenshots of that when I was talking about that because I thought it would be so triggering. Like the stuff he said. Yeah, and he posted a story about himself. The real worst thing, the real worst thing is the days before that, he posted a story about himself. He was just chatting in the group chat. This is just group chat. Hey guys, I'm on the train and this woman keeps flashing me. He's just telling us a story of himself on the train, saying this woman's flashing me. What's that about? And I just ignored it, and I thought probably isn't. She's probably chatting shit. Like, and then later on, when this whole conversation about this comes up, he goes, what if a woman was flashing someone on the train and then a man went afterwards and followed her? And that's what I'm saying. And then like he goes, obviously the man would be wrong, but is she to also blame? And I'm like, yo, that was a story about you. You're placing yourself. That's why like, you are placing yourself in the example. Is this a fantasy, or is that what happened, or what are we dealing with here? Because you're a sick man.
That is so wild, yeah. That I just haven't. That was it. I just thought, you know what, fuck it. You know, you want to respond, but I thought, you know what, this is my energy here.
And I wrote something about that online. I didn't write the details. I just said, right, this too much. And some other people insinuated to the details in the comments and stuff. So he inboxed me like, yo, because he's on a ban. He's like, I'm on a ban. I can't defend myself. And I said, I don't care, bro. Like you, and I told him himself, I goes, you said this. You put yourself in the scenario. You're sick. Yeah. He goes, oh, you're accusing me of being a rapist and all of this and that. And I was like, yeah, you're a sick man, bro. Yeah. And then he tried to kind of carry it on a bit. And then he wrote something disturbing. He wrote a disturbing, like, apologist comment. So I was just like, Ross, fuck your mum. And then I thought, no, I'm blocking this guy. I'm done now. This is like, so all of this, like when you're saying to me, am I the problem? Yeah. You can't tell me I'm the problem in that scenario when we look at those details.
It's social media in general that's the problem.
That's the problem, yeah. But I'm saying, I have this week decided to myself, I don't usually block people. I always make a point of not blocking people, of keeping dialogue open and being available to conversate about certain things. But I'm starting to limit that. So I blocked him, and then Simon Sober, who was on the show before, came on the comments, and Simon, for some reason, yeah, hella red flags for Simon, to be honest, because Simon decided that was the moment. All of that narrative there was the time when he decided, do you know what, this Uno guy's all right, I'm going to roll with him. So he sided with Uno in the whole thing and decided now he wants to be a tag team with him, and I'm the problem and I just don't understand you, my job.
They're a tag team though. I'm not sure.
Well, it seems like it. He's defending him hard, defending Uno's comments hard, saying that I'm making it up. He said I was making it all up and I'm making everything into this and into that. So I just blocked Simon as well. So now these people, is this like you talk about high vibration and low vibration and all that? These are very, very low vibration human beings, and I don't need that in my life.
Fair enough. Oh God. Jesus, I mean, that's the world of social media, people. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that about like the other, like the incident today, or the other people that like are against the lockdown, or even fucking QAnon or whatever. Even though that's very sinister as well. Don't get it twisted, but it's not like you know, there's space for conversation or whatever. Like it's it's mad, but yeah.
But like, have the conversation, you're saying, rather than resorting to, because what's happened even online, I'm watching some other podcast stuff and online, and it's like potential to have some like very good podcasts, but there's a lot of beef between the different people, and it's like won't happen or ain't happening anytime, and it's like sometimes, you know, it's better to just, you know, but then I don't know, we might not have set a good example for like dialogue in these episodes we be doing. You know what I mean? We might have opened the door for arguments. You know what I mean? We might have literally opened the door. For
all of these podcasts and stuff, it all opens the door for argument. But I'm all about conversation. I'm down for it. I'm down to talk about stuff. But I'm not a yes man. I don't just agree with the narrative and follow the narrative. And a lot of these people, they think they're following an alternative narrative, but they're actually just following a narrative. Do you know what I'm saying? I really do a different narrative.
No, but you got to think what it is. A lot of people get so twisted, but they don't realize it's just very simple things. Like, see people that are anti-lockdown, anti-mask. It's not nothing big we're asking for. It's nothing big. You understand? So we don't care what the fucking government wants to do. We don't care what the fucking.
Well, Terry, you're just speaking for yourself, because some of these people, like you said at the beginning, you was on.
I'm speaking for people that want these very same things. We want to be able to fucking go out, do what we need to do. We want to be able to walk into a building, not have to cover our face, get on the train, not have to cover our face. Just something that simple. It might be petty, just very simple things, and that's basically it. That's all it is. There's nothing more we want. You get me? To be honest, there's not much the government can do to stop us. You know what I mean? I go where I need to go, where I want to go, do what I need to do.
So do I.
But it's still cool. That's all it is. Leave us alone. You know what I mean? Don't ask us why we're not wearing a mask. Don't just you know what I mean? Just leave us alone. All you people that have got this COVID thing in your head, the people that Nova sympathizes with, and the one that Nova says we should show compassion to. We should show compassion to. We should build them their own little colony, like a lepers colony, and they can live in this layer, and everything could be spaced out 2 meters. And we can, and people can just live, and that's it. Don't go out. It'd be like that film, The Village. Keep them in there for like hundreds of years. They won't even know what the outside world looks like. That's what you've got to do. If people really want, if it's really about compassion, and then the rest of us, we just get on with our lives. So I can understand why certain people have ended up gravitating towards QAnon. QAnon are saying, look, you can have we're not going to make you wear a mask. We're not going to fucking close down your business. We're not going to, I'm not even, you know what I mean? So anything along that kind of narrative, it doesn't have to be QAnon, but it can be something with a similar narrative. Yeah, I can understand why people would gravitate towards it, especially if it was people that had no prior knowledge of this coming before. You understand? Some of us.
The problem with it,
we knew something was coming. That's the thing. Some of us knew.
The problem with QAnon and the narrative that says don't let them trigger you with race is that QAnon are also saying, yeah, don't. And I know you're anti-Black Lives Matter for your own reasons, but for this, like, forget that for a minute and look at this reason, yeah, that they come from. Like, they're like, Black Lives Matter is triggering you with race. It's all an agenda. Don't listen to it. But then their leader is saying, they're animals. I'm gonna send the army to attack them in the street. You know what I'm saying? These people are literally saying, like, let's attack black people in the street for standing up for their rights. Do you know what I'm saying? So we got to be easy with all that. They're saying we don't want you to wear a mask and not go out because they want to go out and cause fucking havoc against people, against black people, against all kinds of people. So,
well, like.
And that whole don't talk about they're trying to trigger us with race thing is
what it is. I get it though. I can get certain things because it's like, even me, I will get triggered by race more than anybody. Yeah, trust me. If I see some fucking racism around me, I will not let it slide. Yeah, you've seen it. It's been well documented. Yeah, there's footage, there's video footage, and there's photograph of me not letting racism slide. Yeah, racism slide. So I'm the first man to call it out. But then when I can see something's deliberately manipulating that in me, that's where you get me, that's what I have to say, you know what?
But you know the media. Look at the media.
The same way when all this QAnon stuff started, remember I'm thinking, boom, I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't think this whole thing's a hoax. Yeah, I'm thinking these things. So when all that comes along and it's like, yeah, this is saying the same sort of thing, it's like, yeah, cool. All right, cool. I ain't the only one who thinks that. But when it starts turning into let's hit the streets, that's when I'm like, because you haven't seen me, I've not been to no protests. Yeah. So when it comes down to hit the streets, I'm like this. And I'm observing. I'm seeing bare people get arrested, I'm seeing this and that. I'm listening, I'm seeing the narrative, I'm seeing the British flags, I'm seeing the Union Jacks go up in the air. I'm seeing the faces that I recognise from certain far right, you know what I mean? So I'm clocking the whole scene, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I can't knock this far right man who's followed the BNP his whole life, who's now got onto this QAnon thing, and he's now realising, because what it is, he now realises it is unity does have to happen. You won't, not even because we have to like each other, or you won't survive. Yeah, if you look at
but there's the opposite to unity happening now, because all this narrative of like they're triggering us with race. I just want to like look at that, yeah, because the media, yeah, has been anti-Black Lives Matter. The media has still been anti-Black people. This whole Meghan Markle thing.
No, but how has the media been anti-Black Lives Matter?
All of this, all of the anti-Black Lives Matter sentiment.
Black Lives Matter section. Netflix has got a Black Lives Matter section. We were at one side.
It should do.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not biased, then, is it? It's not biased. It's actually it's not anti. It's some sections of the media. Some sections of the media are against it. Some sections of the media promote it.
Bro, there was more anti-Black Lives Matter than there is pro. No, because the media has been calling Black Lives Matter people like rioters, accusing.
I know this. This is one side of the media. This is one side of the media. Then you've got the other side of the media, the Vice, even there's some of the alternative media.
But it's not. They have to promote. They have to
Facebook.
They have to have that balance.
Keir Starmer got on one knee.
Yeah, but you got to say one side is just that side is just, well, Keir Starmer got on one knee, but he also said that he also said that, like, I can't remember, he said it was a moment at one point, which he got a lot of heat for, but he also said some very dismissive things about it. Yeah, very.
Yeah, like, but I don't expect Keir Starmer not to be a racist.
All the politicians in this country, every side of politics in this country, like at the top, has dismissed Black Lives Matter and.
But this, you know,
a violent organization.
Well, you know what it is.
Bro, the main narrative of Black Lives Matter has been anti in the media. Of course, they have to go, oh, there was a protest and this is what people... The things that come across positive is just when the actual thing is getting reported realistically. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, there was a protest, this happened, like there's a protest because of a murder. Like, they're just saying the facts. The facts sound positive. But then the actual like articles with emotion added and all of that have all been negative.
I think this last one, what we're going through at the moment, yeah, is even worse, because with this one, they're not even giving it any room. Like, this is the most like peaceful one you've had yet, and they're not giving it any room for like, that's it, any kind, because it's directed at the police as well. So I think this is kind of mad as well. I think what's happened now, obviously we should have spoke about it in depth a bit more considering the time, and that's why what it was, the comments that I saw from Uno, at first I dismissed it as just whatever, you understand, I just thought it's just Uno talking some madness, yeah. But I weren't really paying attention to what was going on in the news. But obviously when I've checked the timeline and the dates and that, this was all happening, do you know what I mean, as all this news was coming out. So I thought it was a bit, you know, I don't know, mate. I don't know if he was aware of this.
No, it was a bit before. He was saying it a bit before. So
but it's bad. Even still, like when I kind of caught up with what he was on about, it was already the time went. So I'm looking at it and thinking, fucking hell.
Let's touch on this. Yeah, let's touch
on
this.
It's good because you know what it is. That shows, yeah, the average man's mentality. Yeah, and I think that's what it is. It's, when they're sitting there saying it's not all men. Just know that that's the average. That's the average man's take on it. Yeah, your average man's take on it.
Before we go to the not all men, there's one comment here that's still about racism, and then we'll go on to the not all men thing. Yeah. Okay. So Ashley Young said, if there were not mainstream flares up of racism, how much would or do you encounter on a daily basis?
How much do I encounter? It depends. Like it depends, innit? I do. You got to remember, like, it's a weird one because where I live in rural Somerset, and it's weird. You don't really, most people aren't really going to say nothing to me anyway. But yeah, occasionally you do get somebody, but then it's because they mistake me for like a local. They think, oh, he's like one of the, he probably grew up around here and he's just, you know what I mean, he's probably used to getting called it. But like I'm not gonna act like racism isn't everywhere. Like it actually is everywhere. It's just a case of like, I know that all the, you know what I mean, any racist around here, he can't tell me nothing. You understand? So as majority of the racists, man, if I do come across one, he can't say nothing to me anyway. That's just my mentality. You understand? But not everyone's like that. So more people will experience it, yeah. But at the same time, there is still people.
Also different forms
of some people that can't hold their racism down.
What about different forms? Because you seems like you're answering it just from a perspective of like racial abuse or someone.
What do you mean different forms? Well, do you know what it is? You don't know, innit? How you got to remember, I'm in rural Somerset, yeah. However, I go about my business and I interact with people, and normal interaction. There is no funny vibes. You get me? I go to Devon and I do my thing. There's no funny vibes. I go all around the country, go to Scotland, do my thing. I don't, you understand? I can't put everything down to race. If I have an issue with some argument with someone, it can't always put it down to race. Because I can have that same argument in London with a black person.
Yeah, but you could have that argument could be to do with other things, but race can still be a part of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I would say it like I would say if it was, then I would say it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I can't sit there and say it. Yeah, it's not a thing where like it is what it is, isn't it? I don't sit there worrying about racists because there's plenty. You know, the way I see it, you know what I mean? A racist will probably just look for an easier target than me. He might not, though, don't get me wrong. There's a couple of them that you know what I mean, have seen me and thought, you know what?
That's what I'm saying. You're talking about a confrontation, right?
That's all that, yeah, but what is, but anything else is, do you know what I mean? I can sit there and say to you, I went to a festival and they were selling some t-shirts. No one bought them because they were racist. People were racist, so they didn't buy my t-shirts. Or you understand? I can put anything if I want to. I can sit and say, oh, you know what I mean? This girl left me because she's racist. Or you understand? People were looking at me funny because they're racist. Or
that's anything to you, isn't it? But you know, she asked the question. She said to both of you. So I guess I'll answer. For me to answer that question, I would say I encounter white privilege all the time, every day. That's my encounter of racism.
And then I also encounter a lot of people that are almost like scared to speak because they're scared, and that's the thing. And then people take it out. This is the thing. You've got racists here, and then people go and take it out on they rather than take it out on a racist thug, they will go and take it out on the person who shared a meme, or you understand, or the person who used a term that they shouldn't have used, or a person who, you understand, said something on not to say that there's not a lot of abuse on Facebook, but
yeah, but why shouldn't we call those things out though? I call those things.
It's cool to calling things out, but what it is, I see a lot of people calling out the racism from like all this, you know, people, you know, it is. Go and fight some proud racists. There's certain racists who will stand up and say, I'm a fucking racist.
But I'm saying, I think you're too, I can't tell you how to react to all of this, but I think you're very focused on those proud racists and people want to confront and fight and that. I'm more worried about the covert ones and the ones that don't realize they're doing it, because that's the programming that's more dangerous. That's the dangerous.
You know what it is? That's their problem. Like if someone's racist, how the hell is they going to affect? Just think about how are they going to affect.
It's not about. But they are affecting like young black people like living in society all the time. So I'm more managing.
It used to affect me because I used to think about it. But how is it going to affect me in my day-to-day runnings? Right, it's not.
What about the youth? What about the youths, the young black youths that are stopped 40 times more than the white youths and harassed by police? It's affecting them, isn't it?
I know it's affecting them.
So I'm saying, like, I can't be like.
But the thing, what it is, it's affecting them. But you got to remember, you're going to get stopped more times by the police if you're a young black man in London. Yeah, trust me, I know, because I was getting stopped when I was young, and not just in London. It depends where you go. Like I said, it depends where you go. Mm-hmm. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It just depends. Like, I can't sit there and say, oh, there's a solution. I can't sit there and tell you that the police aren't racist. You understand? Because they are. So from you know that they're racist, you don't want to go. Basically, the police are racist, yeah? So the last thing you do is go and hang around in their hunting grounds. You understand? It's like a lion. You don't go into a lion's hunting grounds and start hanging around in there. If you're in Africa and you find yourself in the middle of a lion's field, you say, you know what, let me get myself to Nairobi. Let me get myself to Nairobi where I'm at less risk of being attacked by a lion. You understand?
Now this is gonna lead us to our other conversation of not all men, because now you're talking about people shouldn't put themselves in a place what's dangerous and all of that, which is what this woman who has been murdered has been told. That's what this narrative about 6 p.m. curfew was started by, and that's what Uno was saying. So you're now saying the same thing about young black.
No, I'm telling you straight. I'm telling you straight to save your life. Yeah. Don't fucking worry about feeling like a victim, because at the end of the day, this is a completely different. I'm addressing a completely different kind of conversation, a completely different kind of person. At the end of the day, look, that was. Imagine if every time. Imagine that was a completely different situation. I'm addressing youths them that are likely to get involved in gang. They have to take affirmative action to save their life.
But what about the young? What about the young? What about the young black guys that are not likely to do that? What about the young black? I'm telling you. What about the young black? Nothing to do with that. That are not doing any of that and are still 40 times more likely to be harassed by the police.
Exactly. You're going to get exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's still going to get harassed by the police. There's nothing I can do to stop the policeman from harassing him.
Ashley Young has hurting me up saying, did you assume my gender? I'm male. I must have said she or something. Because Ashley is spelt with an E-I-G-H in my head. I did think that was a like female spelling of the name, but yeah, bless.
With the woman now, I don't want to hear no excuses from men. At the end of the day, even if they did say, you know what, the men have got to stay indoors at 6 p.m. Yeah. Until we get the situation under control, I would be more inclined to follow that guideline than I would to follow the COVID guideline. If they said, "Right, you know what, we need to do, we need to get everyone behind closed doors because we need to go and track down all these rapists. We need to cleanse society of them." Yeah. Cool.
But people got all that. people got all not all men about it and go, oh my God, they're gonna have a curfew system for men. But the funny thing is obviously just to establish what happened, that was never actually proposed. It was a joke. It was said in Parliament by a woman because all of these comments were coming out saying, well, she was walking home at 6 when it was dark when this happened, when she got kidnapped, blaming the woman for walking home. And she's saying, if anyone should not be walking home, we've got to stop telling women not to walk home, because maybe the men should not walk home. Maybe we should have a curfew for men. It was a joke to prove the point of how stupid it is to blame women for walking home. So
and the worst thing is, people were more, like I said, even though it didn't actually happen, it's like people were more angry. But when they said stay home to control COVID, they were like, okay, we're all going to stay home. We're all in this together. So when someone suggested stay home to control rape, is like out. You understand? You get me? An uproar. It was an absolute uproar. No way. And that's the truth. And I know it sounds dark, but that's the truth. That's reality right there. I'm glad it's revealing itself. That's reality right there. That's what your populations are made up of. That's what they're made up of.
Point.
They're made up of these sorts of people. So the reason why, like, going back to what you were saying, Uno, I'm not going to sit there and label Uno anything or label anybody anything. Yeah. But however, in this current climate, I'll have to take a step back until until it can get cleared up. That, you know what I mean? I have to take a step back, because in this current climate, you never know, innit? You just never know, because like
Justin said, I'm tired of men coming to me saying they feel attacked and like they aren't safe. I'm not sure what
they feel attacked by who?
Well, men are always saying they feel attacked, and they're now like these menamists, isn't it? They're obsessed with being that they're the oppressed group, and they're this.
Well, this is what happens. Listen, this is what happens here. Sorry, and this is what you're going to find in this QAnon stuff as well. Is you're going to find, basically, it all comes down to this: the white man feels like he's under attack.
Yeah.
He feels like they've got everyone else, and he's the last man standing, and they're going to get him. That's basically that is basically the whole. That's the narrative of the QAnon thing. Is they're going for the white man. So this is why they need everybody to come and join forces to understand, because it's like, look, if they take us down, they're taking all of us down. You understand? So yeah, that's kind of another thing, men feeling like they're under attack. You want an International Men's Day and all this other shit.
There's already an International Men's Day.
Hear it. I'll be honest. I started
writing a song called International Men's Day. I'm going to try and release it next year on International Women's Day. That's what I'm working on.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. Yeah, it's a bit crazy, all this. Okay, now toxic.
Well, I gotta say my point on the. I didn't follow this story deeply, but I hadn't seen all of the details of this murder. But I'd seen a lot. I want to say that, I've seen a lot of stuff posted on my timeline the last few days while this has been a conversation that has been quite progressive to me. I've seen people talking about the not all men thing and challenging it. I've seen more men from our world challenging it, more men in general challenging it, more women challenging it. I've seen this conversation really big on my timeline the last few days, and I've loved seeing it. And what it made me think, I posted this online, but what it really made me think was that I was kind of like, why has this case made everyone suddenly start kind of seeing the real perspective of what's going on and listening to women saying that, they don't feel safe going home, and listening to women like expressing their experience, and less of, blaming the woman. Why was she there? Why was she doing this? What was she wearing? Although obviously there was a lot of that. That's why they're not all men.
That's mad. So I haven't really seen much of that.
Yeah, I've seen more men stacking up. I saw posts on like I'm Just Bait, where usually it will just be getting so many of these men, and there was most of the comments in the thing were actually people saying the right stuff. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this is going somewhere. So I'm looking at it. Why? What's going on with this case? And then I realized that it was a police officer who's been arrested for the murder, and that was what made me think. Right, that to me seemed like why everyone believes this case that this man was wrong. Because I think usually if it was an average guy, they'd all relate to him in some way and think, boy, what did she do? What did she do to him? What was this? What was that? And that would be the usual narrative. But because it's a police officer, we don't like police in this community anyway. And, you know, even if you don't hate the police, like for a police officer to do that, it's, you know, obviously very, very wrong. So everyone's suddenly ready to believe and stand by this woman in this case. And then I added, when I wrote it online, that she's a white woman because, you know, when these things have happened to black women, obviously Breonna Taylor, there's a huge story of in America, we're still trying to deal with like where police murdered a black woman and nothing's been done about it. So cool. But that's not to dismiss that white women go through this stuff loads as well. That wasn't really my main point. Someone really challenged me on that and I thought that wasn't even my main point. I was just adding that, like, it was the police officer thing that really got me. I just added that as an extra point because we got to kind of have that conversation.
You know what it is? You know what it is? You got to remember as well, this is rock people's world, because remember, our experience for London, we know we ain't got the same experience as a lot of these people, these middle class people that have moved in, bought houses, started families, work in the city. You know what I mean? They've got a different reality. When you grow up in London, you've got a lot of people, you know a lot of things that go on there. Now, even though this is something very like horrific, this was like horror movie, understand? But that sort of stuff does happen in London. Yeah. And I think where it doesn't usually cross over into that world, that, you understand, this was just a normal woman. Yeah, she was not, you understand, there was no crime, she was not linked to any, there was no actual, you know what I mean? No one even knows what the motive was, but she wasn't linked to anybody. You know what I mean? Different, these people I know, shit's happened to them. I'm like, do you know what I mean? It's sad, but it doesn't surprise me. It's like, I know the kind of lifestyle they're mixed up with, but, you know.
I hope you're not talking about women when you say that, bro.
Nah, this is guys. This is the guys.
Yeah, I'm just saying because of the conversation we're in. Yeah,
nah, mate.
But just,
you know what I mean? Either way, like, just
another comment in it. Jessen said if it wasn't, you're just saying if it wasn't a police officer, it wouldn't be getting taken as seriously as
that's what I was. Yeah, that's another thing.
Women have been shouting. She said women have been shouting about this for years. That's the rest. The women have been shouting about this for years, and I'm so angry it's taken this to get into the limelight. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's, you know what I mean? That's another way of dismissing any, you know what I mean? If it happens in the future, it's another way of kind of, you know what I mean? They've made one big story out of it. Now, anything that happens in the future can get brushed under the carpet, maybe.
I'm saying that like, it's suddenly a big story because of the police officer. Like, this happens in the UK, in obviously because it's an abduction thing. I don't know if, like, I don't know the statistics of abductions and stuff like that. It's a bit different. We don't know the connection with this, like, if there is any connection with woman and the person.
We don't even know what happens.
We don't know that, but
we don't know what happened, but we do know the woman got murdered. That's basically.
I'm saying in relationships, or even ex-partners in the UK, 2 to 3 women are murdered in the UK by their partners or ex-partners every week, like every single week. And since lockdown, and it's why I stood with you to say, I understand that there are problems that the lockdown has caused, and I'm not with them. When the lockdown started, that number went from 2 to 3 to 16 a week.
Jesus.
16 women were being murdered a week. I don't know what the statistics have stayed at, but early in the lockdown,
it's probably gone up because, you know what I mean? It's pushed people to breaking point. But even still, it's not a good excuse. You understand? But yeah, no, like, I don't know, man. I think it's a thing that society needs to kind of all come together and lay down certain laws, because these places you can't get away with that. Understand? These places you can't get away with it.
I don't know where are them places.
There's places in they're places in like South America where they got their area locked down and there's certain rules within the hood, but you know, probably other shit goes on there, but you know, it's one of them things. It don't have to be so brutal, but at the same time, it's like, you need to put it on people. If you see something going on, Like you see a man attacking a
we
woman.
shouldn't have it. We shouldn't have it. But and the truth is that in the hood, people like have this energy of like we don't allow that kind of thing to women and stuff like that. Yeah, we like act like we would switch and do some hood justice and that. But when it comes down to it, we are so ingrained in these. Oh, but what did she do? But what this? But what that? We got to change the narratives amongst men in order to enforce anything. Because we have to stop ourselves from going, oh, what this, what that, and like
Well,
this
there's certain parts of London where they're a bit more, you know what I mean? It's like southeast London. I know in southeast London they're a bit more fucking. You get caught out in certain areas, they'll run you out the area. Get involved in something.
But what I'm saying, it would need to be proved without a shadow of a doubt. It would need to be a police officer. Do you know what I'm saying? For example, so it's like it's so difficult. Because we don't listen to women, and like I'm like, it just makes me look at this question of this is there. That's why I just had to look at this situation and go, like this is only being listened to because it was a police officer, and it's good this conversation's happening, and hopefully all of these things will add to a time, you know, add to time changing, and that we do listen to women more. But you know, I don't know, man. I guess I don't know. Coming to an end of an era.
For real.
Episode.
Yeah, man.
So
in a way, you know, I still stand with my stance, anti-lockdown stance, still anti-mask,
anti-people, anti-humans,
anti-establishment. Not at all. And, you know, I mean, remember, people. Remember, it's all you have to remember.
My thing. Plenty more. I put this online today, by the way. I put these online. I'm trying to set up a website where it just has them. At the moment, I've just been selling them on Bandcamp, and I was trying to build the website today, and it just got complicated. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just putting these."
Go on Big Cartel.
Yeah, no, but Big Cartel's got too many limitations unless you pay for the, certain features, because you can only put one picture. You can only you can only put 5 items. I've got more than 5 items.
Yeah. You got to upgrade it.
So I don't want to pay for their premium thing. I can just set up my own website. Do you know what I'm saying? And put it on my own thing if I'm going to do that, which I'm doing. But for now, these are on Bandcamp, novarflip.bandcamp.com, novarflip.bandcamp.com. I put the snapbacks and the sweatshirts on there today. You can go cop them. You know what I mean? When I get the website up, the prices are going to go up. So cop while you can. But yeah, I don't know. Like I think the last couple of episodes we stopped arguing with each other. So actually, no, the last one we was getting mad. What was we talking about again?
No, because I know you was genuinely vexed because that was just after you had left the group.
The Uno thing.
That was after you left. That was the day after you left the group because of the Uno comment.
No, I left the group because of Simon, remember?
Was it? Well, that wasn't meant to.
I've missed a few comments, but let me just read the last one anyway. Jessant said, too many men go on like they'd fuck man up for sexual assault, etc., but most of them don't do anything. Terra is one of the only men I know who will genuinely come and knock man out for me if necessary. Big up Terra. And I don't want that.
You know that. But, but you know what it is. At the same time, you know the saddest thing about it is like even in London, a lot of dodgy people out there. That I've got a lot of other dodgy people. I mean, it's one of them ones. Sometimes, you know what I mean. You're in situations and you even feel outnumbered. You know that you're the only person who thinks that that's wrong. You know what I mean? And you know that in that situation, you're gonna get turned on like the rock. You understand? So, yeah, man. But
you realize how much people think it's wrong, like just from like the amount of people that have turned on me. We said this earlier on in the episodes, like the amount of people in the UK hip hop scene who have turned on me. And you want to ask me earlier in this, like, am I the problem or whatever? The amount of people that have turned on me, and the vast majority of them are because I was speaking about misogyny and believing women and all of these conversations, and they didn't like it. They're literally like, so you're right, that you will find yourself in a situation where they want to gang up on you. and they want to beef you. And when you really deep what the agenda is behind it, you really have to look at what these people, like what is going on in these people's souls, because it's not good. It's not good stuff. And cool, I believe everyone's got time to, like, everyone can learn and given a space to learn all that. I'm always here for that. But it's shown me a lot, because I ain't done no one nothing. I'm saying, yeah, I'm provocative, yeah, I'm whatever, but I'm only provocative about something important, like a conversation. I'm like, yo, this ain't it. This is like, let's stop that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like threatening no one on the internet and stuff like that, like these men do to me, yeah, or even like whoever. But you know, love to everybody, man. Really, you know.
Yeah, like I said, man, all I can say to people is get out of these urban environments and get into the countryside somewhere where you're not in survival mode. You get me? Because when you're in London,
everywhere, bro.
Yeah, no. You know, it's a different kind of survival mode, though. Understand? It's like there's survival mode, like looking over your shoulder, survival mode. You understand? And then there's survival mode, having to keep your wits about you, and then there's survival mode and just like getting on with what you need to get on with. You understand? Right? That's the real like survival you need to be worried about. That, and a lot of this time is distractions, because everyone, what it is, I try not to take in everything that everyone else is taking in, because that leaves more room to clash with people, because everyone now has got an opinion on the same thing, and this person's opinion is different, and it clash, yeah. But then at the same time, because I don't program myself with information, I might just walk into a situation and my first thought on the situation, this is fucking, I'm anti-BLM, and all of a sudden that equates to, oh, you've been getting brainwashed by right wing, or I'm anti this, and do you understand? But really, that's just my natural instinct. Like, no, I don't like this. I like this. I don't like that. That's how I am. I don't have to pick any kind of political side.
You're anti. I'll be honest, Terra. You're anti everything, man, and I'm just trying to have love for most.
I'm not. One thing I'm not anti. I'm not anti-freedom. Yeah. I'm not anti people getting and congregating and having live music. I'm not anti-lock. And you get me, close down all the venues, put all these artists out of work. That's why, and that's the thing. Like, remember, a lot of us artists.
Oh God, don't make me start again, bruv. This Jason said love to both of us. Sorry to interrupt you, but Ashley Young just said AKA Diego Tequila. He just told me who that is. Well, that's Diego.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Like, that's on the same subject who said some very wicked things. That was the start. Person who started it. I'm gonna leave that be, because we're gonna end this on a positive note. Well, he's a very wicked person, that one as well.
Yeah. So what I was saying anyway about the truth of the matter is a lot of us artists, yeah, we're out of work. You know what I mean? That's the truth. We're doing all this creativity, but we've got nowhere to go and fucking perform it. And until we can, we're just gonna be fucking at someone's throat somewhere. You know what I mean? Even me, yeah, just 'cause you don't see it, yeah, somewhere along the line, online, somewhere, I've got some sort of, you know what I mean? Who was I arguing with one of like I said, one of my friends I had to block the other day. Same thing, I had to block them. You understand? Whereas the last time I see them, I was in Estonia performing. You understand? So it's a completely different, you know what I mean? Right now the energies have gone down, and not a lot of people are able to like keep their energy, their vibration high while all the shit's going down. And even still, even me, it goes down. I dip sometimes as well. Sometimes I dip and I go for, you know what I mean? End up engaging in lower vibrational behavior just out of boredom, or out of, you know, your like lack of.
Sarah, man, I know you're a person who tries to be on this high vibration, and I definitely know that about you. But you keep some real low vibration people about, man.
No, but you know what? I don't even want to say. I don't keep low vibrational people about. You know what I mean? But you know, I have more time on my hands. Let's just say I have more time on my hands than I usually. You know what I mean?
The devil makes work. The devil makes work for idle hands.
Yeah, but I keep productive. You get me? Right, that's what I'm saying right now. The bad slavery
is Ashley Young. Facebook isn't the place to discuss these things, and he asked early in the comments, like, let me join this conversation. If I knew that's who.
Why did you let him in?
Because I just thought they were talking about Biden and we were trying to have this conversation about what was going on. So I was just
no, but you've painted some people. It's you know what I mean. You've made people out in a certain light.
People have said some really wicked things.
Yeah, but you should. Yeah, but then this is what you have to give them the opportunity to respond.
Does Uno need the opportunity? Does Uno need the opportunity to respond?
Well, you could give it to him. You know what I mean? You could give him an opportunity to respond.
No, I'm not giving it to him no more.
Well, fair enough. You know what I mean? Fair enough. Apparently, he's starting his own thing, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it would be.
Well, just to wrap things up, yeah.
You know what it is? One thing, and I'll say one more thing. Almost just to clear things up, because I kind of want to understand as well. I don't really, me personally, I don't want to label anyone anything, yeah. But if I don't understand something, I will say.
I understand it though. I understand.
Yeah, well,
very wrong. He's a very bad, very, very bad person.
Well, no, because what it is, you're saying what you're saying. You're saying what you're saying. I can see your point of view. Now I haven't heard I haven't heard his reasons for what he said. To be honest, I'm not ready to look into that yet. But I haven't heard what he's saying. But he does have his point of view that he wants to obviously get across. He's not bad at the moment. So I'm here not understanding why. I want to just know. I want answers. Understand? I want answers.
But what I'm saying is, it's been a blast. 10 episodes. Terra versus Novar FLIP.
I'm free now. I can get on with my life.
I think I stopped counting, but I think there was a couple where Terra had some points and got me. But I think it was about 7-8 to Nova. I think 7. What are you on about? This is your delusion. In the early episodes, I had you on the ropes. Like every time I'd be like,
no, you didn't.
I get to the point, the way I had Uno, where I broke down what you're saying, and actually it's anti-people and I'm pro-people.
The only way you made any gains on me, yeah, is when you got me for the toxic group. That was the only way. That was the only way.
You know what? I wasn't even going to say. I wasn't even going to take that ones. I wasn't going to take the ones because you was agreeing with me at that point. So it's
but I had no choice. I had no choice. I had no choice.
I mean, we made friends towards the end. Our actual private conversations on the phone are much more hyped than this show and much more like aggressive. And there's like always love at the end of it. So, yeah, I guess we'll be back with a new season when there's something new for us to really beef about.
Yeah. It shouldn't take long. Anyway, all right. Bless.
Finish.